Good afternoon. This is Katherine, and this is Christopher Tipper. Where are we, Christopher?
We are on the couch, and it is Friday afternoon, so that means that this is our Friday afternoon on the couch bourbon edition.
Yep.
So how are you today?
Doing pretty good.
Don't ever give up.
Yep.
Today is March 4th, Friday. We think we've got a pretty good topic for you. So what is it that we talk about on the couch? This is our attempt to help explain all the crazy things that the ERISA, DOL, PBGC, and all those other things, we try to discuss them in a lighthearted mood, or topic, or scenario, whatever. All right, so we are going to be talking about the cherry on the sundae today, and we'll explain more about that when we come back.
Or the cherry and the bourbon.
But, oh yeah.
Old fashioned.
And we're back.
And we are back. What do we usually do when we're back?
Well, I remember this week. Okay, when we come back, we talk to Kristina. Kristina has the Washington update. Kristina, do we have a Washington update?
We do.
Yes, we do. I saw it in the notes.
Did you? Yes. Yeah. There was a lawsuit filed against the CalPERS, CalSAVERS, which is the California version of the secure retirement.
Illinois Secure Choice?
Yeah.
But it's been around for a long time, though.
It was one of the first. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But there's an organization, the taxpayer group, that believes that it was in violation of ERISA and that it should not exist. So they have gone through the courts, and the courts have said, yes, it should exist. It's not subject to ERISA.
A non-ERISA plan can't be in violation of ERISA by definition. Okay.
Now, the Trump organization did back up, and they wrote a friend of the court document, and they agreed. That was the Justice Department under Trump.
Okay. Oh.
However, the Labor Department under Biden wrote another letter to the courts and said, never mind. We don't agree with this.
Wait a minute. So the current DOL is saying it is subject to ERISA, or it's not?
No, they're saying that the lawsuit, they don't agree with the lawsuit.
Oh, okay.
Trump did, they don't.
Okay.
And then the Supreme Court of the United States looked at it and said, yeah, we're not going to make a decision on this. And
they passed.
They passed.
Okay.
And so CalSAVERS still exists.
Though I would say having your own plan, if you're a company, is a great way to sidestep this problem.
And probably subject to ERISA, and then just don't worry about all this stuff. Is that what you were going to say?
That's what I say. If you want a simple life, have your own plan.
Before we get off of Washington update, what's going on? Do we have to do some kind of comment for the environment, the ESG funds or something like that? The DOL is working on something with that, right?
With the risk.
Yes.
Due to environmental conditions.
Right. And then also the other thing I read, I've been on 2 webinars this week, and the same guy saying the same thing.
Really?
Yes.
Did it sound better the second time?
No, it's the exact same thing, word for word. They're looking at, the DOL is looking at trying to put together language, because they can't forbid cryptocurrency in plans managed by amateurs, but they're trying to come up with a way to discourage it.
Well, they're trying. The problem is, who's holding the cryptocurrency?
How do you get in the trust?
How does it get into the trust and stay there? Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of cryptocurrency, is to not be in a trust. Holy crap!
And also,
holy crap!
And the one thing with the cryptocurrency is that it's a password.
Correct.
Your access to it is a password. Who has that?
The fiduciary better.
Well, it's like,
Talk about the responsibility of not losing the password.
We've just been doing this with a client. The assets have to be under. Don't the assets have to be under the control of the U.S. government?
Yes, you have to be able to. They have to be subject to U.S. courts.
But that's the whole purpose of cryptocurrency. Is
I know.
Oh my goodness, I never thought of that.
Isn't it amazing? Cryptocurrency was
I
developed.
learned so much on these web videos.
It was developed for those who were, shall we say, on the edge of legal.
Well, I was going to try to say
be
they
able to
didn't
pass
want to worry
money
about
back.
bank fees when they were traveling to different countries.
Yeah, they didn't want to worry about anything traveling between countries. So how can you take that and make it a legal currency with other
For an
people's money?
So can you put cryptocurrency in a DB plan?
Yeah, you can. Well, I mean.
Oh, I wanted to see if you lost your mind.
Only-
No, I am.
Can you see
I'm
what it-
past losing my mind on that.
Could you see what it'd be like to either have to make up that
well,
loss,
see, that's it.
or the
Yeah.
gain is so big you can put anything in?
Forever.
You could
Yeah.
blow up your lifetime
DB,
maximum in one.
In one afternoon.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
and then bring it back down the next afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Because
right.
it's not the most stable currency.
Okay, so we've talked.
Now we need to lay down.
Okay.
Rest a little bit and
Sorry,
then come back.
I was
It's
touching the
hard.
mic, Filippo. I hope it didn't make a noise on the video. All right.
Bing.
Wow, that was a way. Don't take this the right way, Kristina. That was a way more interesting Washington update than I was expecting. No offense, I can make Filippo
She
giggle.
thinks I'm boring.
No, that's not.
No,
You
but
aren't. You can only do so much with Congress. So, Katherine, what are we talking about today, and why am I going to get annoyed?
Well, how easy 5500s are to do. I mean, like, don't you just need to use TurboTax because you're just plugging in a few numbers, a few participants, a few assets.
Can I have a chair to throw Filippo?
No.
No. All right.
Well, I mean, you just read the instructions,
For the
fill it
50,
in,
right.
and you're done, right?
You've
Do you
been
know what
talking
they mean?
Yeah, well, that.
What did you say?
Do you know what they mean? Good point.
Has that ever been important to a lot of
You
people?
sound like you've been talking to some CPAs I know. All right. So the purpose for
Girls don't tell.
Yeah, well, okay. All right. The reason why I wanted to talk about this today is that we've had some instances where we've been asked to look at takeover plans where CPAs have been doing the work. And the only work they've been doing have been filling out the 5500 because they've been reading the instructions for the Form 5500 and thought that was all you have to do. And so that's why we're talking before the break, or at the intro, we're talking about cherries on top for the sundaes and banana splits, because the 5500, it's the thing at the end. There's so much more beforehand.
There's so much to it. It's
But
not
if you-
just a cherry on the top.
If you think about CPAs, though, everything they do is just follow the instructions, get the number, and put it on the form.
And I want to say we love CPAs.
We do.
But this is our
But it's
lane.
a different
This
approach.
is our
Yes,
lane.
exactly. So under the heading of, we're trying to have this series about why we do what we do and why does it seem so hard, is that it seems so hard because the 5500 is just the summary of the answers at the end, all right? All the work that we have to do to get to that point is to double check who the total employee population is, who of those people who was eligible, of those who's a participant, who left in prior years and still has an account balance. What contributions can you have? What are the minimums? What are the maximums when somebody leaves? What's the vesting? That's all part of it, and none of those things that we have to do are on the 5500 instructions anywhere, right, Kristina?
Not now, no.
Were they ever?
Well, at one time you had to give a report as to whether the plan passed coverage
yes.
testing.
Yeah, but that's been gone for
Since ERISA 2 or EFAS 2.
20
Yeah.
years.
10, yeah.
Is it only 10?
10 or 12.
Okay,
yeah.
2009 seems like 20 years ago.
I know,
Sorry,
God.
guys. It wasn't only that long ago. So, but the point, but with the exception of that coverage test, and there were some more things we used to have to do with multiple employer plans.
Yes.
But right now, for the vast majority of people for 5500s, the 5500 is not the most important thing.
No,
It's
it's a
an
summary.
important thing.
it's
the
very
summary.
important
It's
from
very
a
important.
penalty standpoint.
I was going to say,
But
geez.
there's a lot of work that needs to be done beforehand, and that has to do with eligibility and following the plan document, reconciling the assets. Was there anything else that you wanted us to talk about with this, Catherine, or have I sufficiently?
You have who has loans and what distributions were done in the year, and I mean, there's
What's
a lot.
going on with the assets?
There's
right.
There's a lot of information on it.
Right. Expenses, the fidelity bond. Yes, there is a lot of information on the Form 5500, but it's not most of the work.
No.
Is there anything? What have you learned about a 5500 in the past year, Filippo?
It's necessary.
Hey, that's actually progress in our
At
world.
least Filippo's been
progress.
listening while we're talking during the videos. That's what that means.
Thousands of dollars in penalties per day.
Yeah.
Right. So
If you don't
let's
file.
have a quick summary of that. Okay, the 5500 is important because of,
Penalties.
and they are now in the, is it a couple, how many, what's the per day now?
Oh, I don't even remember. It was 20.
They keep changing it
It's over
lately.
$2,000
a day now.
Yeah,
Right.
a day.
Dates are
A day.
important. Dates are really important
Yes.
now.
2010.
But it's still only, if you turn yourself in, it's for a plan with under 100 participants, it's still only $750.
Right. So confession is good for the pocketbook.
The soul and the pocketbook.
No, actually coming to a TPA and finding out how to correct it is good. Just going and confessing to the IRS.
Oh, that's true, yes.
Is not. I really want to make super clear. Just don't call up and say, "Oh, I screwed up."
There is not
No,
an
wait, wait,
actual,
wait.
yes, there isn't an
You have to
actual.
actually file.
Yes, there isn't an
Okay.
actual confession line at the IRS. That would be
That would-
interesting. That would be very
That
interesting.
might be an interesting
Oh,
mini-series,
they
right?
never answer their
IRS
phone.
They never answer the phone anyway,
IRS
so that's all right.
confessionals.
No, so when I say confess, that means there's a self-reporting
Come-
process we can help
Come
you
in
with.
out of the cold.
Right, all right. So have we made this subject boring enough, Catherine?
Well, it needs to be done.
It needs to be done.
It's a summary of a lot of activity
Right.
that's important to get right.
Yep.
You're going to pay a lot of money if you don't do it.
it.
You also might pay some money if it's really messed up and doesn't really make any sense, too.
And it forms the basis for a government audit
Yes.
of your plan if you do it,
If you do it wrong.
or if you have questionable things going
Yes.
on and you do it right.
Very true statement. So you think you
And
can-
it's actually very visible, really, actually.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for reminding me of that.
So that whole idea that, oh, nobody will ever see it.
Form 5500s are publicly available at the Department of Labor's website.
Unless
Very
you're an owner
convenient
only.
website to
Unless,
search
yes.
that.
So,
That's why you want to electronically sign it, is so that it's not your real signature, right?
Right.
well, that's part of it too. Yes.
I'm just,
Yeah. All
yeah.
right. Okay, so I think we've done enough today. It's been a good afternoon to drink bourbon. All right. If you've got any questions, comments, or concerns, the website, of course, is hunterbenefits.com. If you want to stump me with questions, it's sales@hunterbenefits.com. Like, subscribe, comment. Anything else, Filippo?
Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Here's looking at you.
And never, never give up. Take care.